I have a firm and fabulous reminder for you, and it's wrapped up in a truth that you may have forgotten. You are the prize. That's right, not the consolation prize, not the runner up, but the grand, spectacular, show stopping prize. And it's high time you started to live like it. Hey, it's Star Monroe here from the Star Monroe Show. Each week, it's all about main character energy, confident, unbothered, and exclusive. Let's get real for a moment. Have you been putting yourself at the bottom of your to-do list, sacrificing your needs, desires, and dreams for everyone else? If that's a yes, you're nodding your head, then we need to talk. Because if you are the prize, that's not how you would act. You need to show up for yourself and do things differently. And I get it. Sacrificing your needs, desires, and dreams is rooted in martyr energy, that martyr archetype that has come through generations of men and women before you that have brainwashed us to believe that putting our needs and desires on the back burner is a good thing. It's worthy. This is where we get our worth from. And yet, from my experience, and probably from your experience of living your life, it leads women to feeling unfulfilled, flat, without a purpose or direction, and disconnected from themselves. And that's no way to live. You get one life. We don't get a replay here. And I have always said that, I've said this for a long time, that we are the generation of women that get to say, this shit stops with me. I am no longer carrying this on into any further generations. And I am an iconic older woman, and I am going to stand up for myself, my dreams and desires, and show up like the motherfucking prize and bring them into my reality. I want to add something else onto this as well. What keeps you from being the prize is by living in this mother fixer energy. Now, there's nothing wrong with mother energy because you need to root that mother energy back on yourself first and foremostly. But if you're continuously pissing it out onto everybody else, trying to fix, save, rescue, meddle, you're over in somebody else's business over there, somebody else's business over there, you're wasting your time because you cannot change anybody but yourself. And I'm going to call you out on some other shit here. All the time you're in somebody else's business, guess whose business you're not in? You're not in your business. And your business is where your energy needs to reside. It does mean that you need to take radical responsibility for how you are showing up, what you are thinking, and how you are acting. And then this beautifully leads me back to what you are in control of. You're in control of you and only you. Outside you, life is unpredictable, chaotic, and wildly uncertain. And the more I move through life, the more I believe that applies to everybody else outside me as well. And so, why waste your energy? Yes, of course, be there for your friends, be there as someone to hold space, but ultimately, people need to find their own way. And I know that people won't change until they want to change. If we just point the finger back at you for a moment, you know how hard it is to change, and it takes energy. It takes this kind of resoluteness to go, no, I know I'm the prize. I'm putting myself first. I'm doing things differently. I want to share with you some really easy ways for you to start to incorporate the belief, because it is a belief, that you are the prize into your day-to-day routine. And then I'm going to dig a little bit deeper as to why this is so important as well. So every single morning, start the day by looking in the mirror and declaring, I am the prize. Look deep into your eyes. In the work that I do with women, when I get them to do mirror work and they really connect with themselves in the mirror, they're flabbergasted because most women are so deeply disconnected from themselves. It's this, whoa, there I am. And you are, there you are. You are waiting for you. You are your best friend, your ultimate lover. Your, the relationship you have with yourself is the most important relationship with yourself. And it starts by the little things that you do day in, day out. So start each day by looking in the mirror and declaring, I am the prize. Let it be your mantra, your battle cry, your truth. And I'm going to let you into a little secret. This is what shifted my life last year. When I looked around my life, I was like, oh, I've made all my dreams come true. I'm living in Turkey. I've done this, I've done this. Well, and then I sort of went, well, what next? And that's when I kind of stumbled onto this work and I looked at my work that I'm here to teach a little deeper. And I was like, wow, there's another level I can go. And so I started to say, I am the prize. I am the prize. And because your subconscious is like this big fucking filing system. It's going to find evidence of whatever you say to it over and over again. So if you're always saying, I've got no time, everyone else is more important than me, oh, my dreams don't matter, it's okay, I'll sort this out. Do you know what your subconscious does over and over again? It finds evidence to support that. And I know that you're a woman who wants more, who does not want to settle, and you want to be the superstar of your own life. Well, if you want that, you've got to show up fucking differently. You've got to start saying different mantras. You've got to start weaving in new beliefs. Hence, start your day, brush your teeth, look into your eyes, look deep into your eyes, and say it with conviction. I am the prize. Now, let's dig deeper. Don't just say it in the mirror and fucking walk off and carry on like you are the consolation prize. No, it's time to shuffle your to-do list and put yourself at the very top. When you put your needs at the top of your to-do list, when you serve yourself first, you start showing yourself through your actions that you are worthy and you are valuable. And you also show yourself and the world that you're not here to play fucking small, but you're here to strut through it with the confidence and grace of a woman who knows her worth. You see, being the prize isn't just about feeling valuable. It's about adding value. It's about showing up in every room, every situation, and every challenge as the iconic older woman you are. It's about holding yourself with dignity and grace. It's about taking a deep breath in and reminding yourself, I've got this. It's okay. The answers will find me. And it's about how you hold your posture. When I used to teach Pilates, I always say, imagine your shoulder girdle is like a really expensive coat hanger. It's made out of teak or something. And over this coat hanger drapes your body, and your body is the most beautiful, exquisite gown that you've ever set your eyes upon. And you strut through life like that. That's a power pose I can get behind. You have got to tell yourself better stories. You've got to tell yourself, I am valuable. I am wise. I have resilience. I have fortitude. Darling, you haven't got to this place in your life without gathering up a multitude of skills and talents. You're the one who has to see these skills and talents. It's nobody else's job to validate or appreciate you. You're the one who has to validate and appreciate you, and you have to see your fucking self. You have to honor what you have gone through. This is what I mean by value and adding value. You get so passionate about this. You see yourself. When you see yourself, there's a quote by Rumi here. When you truly see, the magnificence is a different word that he uses. You will be in awe. And that's what I know is available for you when you start to show up for yourself differently. It's all about you as well, making choices that honor what lights you up, your dreams, your desires. And also, it's about having that red velvet rope around you so you protect your time and energy and your peace. And you've got to start with the boundaries you set yourself, with yourself first and foremostly, because if you're not keeping the promises that you make to yourself and you say, oh, I'm a priority, and then you wander off and you look after everybody else, no, your interiors, your pieces of your psyche will know that. They will know that you're a bullshitter. You can't bullshit your fucking self. And talking from someone who tried to bullshit herself for many years, it does not work. I want to dive deeper into the beliefs that are inside you, and circle back to what I was talking about at the beginning about you're only in control of you. And the reality that you look out upon at this very moment is the reality that you've created. And whether or not you believe my words, what I invite you to do is suspend disbelief and listen with an open mind and a curious soul. You are in charge of what goes on inside you, your beliefs, which sit in your subconscious. And from your beliefs come your thoughts. And your thoughts are words and phrases and stories that you say over and over again. And here's the other thing is that your thoughts are also affected by everything that you're taking in from the world, social media, the magazines you read, the TV you watch, the people you hang around with. And so you're infiltrating your thoughts all the time, and then they lodge into new beliefs. So you've got your beliefs, your thoughts, and from thoughts come your words. These are the words that you speak. Your words are incantations, they're spells. You're literally putting yourself under a spell over and over again. All of those three affect your emotions. Your emotions will ebb, flow, plateau. And then you put all of those four together. You want a formula, here it comes. You go thoughts, hang on, beliefs, thoughts, words, emotions equals your energy. We're all energy. And you want to attract a different reality. You want to attract better relationships, more money, better clients, more travel, more freedom. You want to write that fucking book. You want to be a movie star. It all starts and ends with what goes on inside you. This is what I mean by the inner work. You've got to get a handle of what's going on inside. And this is why I said to you a minute ago, you've got to suspend disbelief. You want to write that down and underline it. It's really important. You want to suspend disbelief, and you want to insist upon new thoughts and beliefs that are opening you up. You've been listening to me for more than this podcast. You will hear me talk about your genius. Your genius resides within your DNA. Your genius, you may call it your higher self, God, goddess, divine intelligence. It matters not. It is in your DNA. My job is to guide you back to your fucking genius. So you're starting to insert new beliefs, new thoughts that align, that wake up your genius. If you're listening to me, it's your genius that has pulled you to me. I know that. to be certain. And I tell you something else, that as you align with your genius, as you live with your higher self, you're going to turf up all that bullshit. You're going to turf up all the indoctrination that you've taken on over the years of who you think you are, who you think you should be, and how you think you should act. Anything that is not in alignment with your genius, with your higher self, is going to get turfed out, and you're going to feel it like fears, uncomfortability, limiting beliefs, blocks, or whatever fucking word the coach wants to say, call it on Instagram. It does not matter. It's conditioning. And your job is to flush your fucking system out of this conditioning so you can live as the prize. This is your destiny, to live as the fucking prize. Having a sermon today. So let's pull that all the way down into tangible ways that you can take this into your world. It's important that you live your best life now. Life doesn't have a pause button, and you don't get to live your best life someday off in the future. The future never happens. And a lot of people will say things like, oh, when I lose 10 pounds, I'm going to be confident, or when I meet XYZ, this is when this is going to happen. When I move to another country, then I'm going to be happy. No, what you're doing is you're putting your life on hold, and it will never happen. You're living in fantasy land. Your job is to live your best life right now. It's the choices you make today, the risks you take. Oh, I love that. The risks you take, and the love you pour into yourself. It's the way that you embrace your journey, because the only destination that you and I have got is death. And your job is to understand you're here for the journey. I'm going to tell you another story onto this one. I've said this before. It's worth saying again. In 2020, I was listening to a guy, and he was waking me up to my genius. And this is why people like me along your path, we're important, because we're showing you the light. We're showing you that there's another way for you to live your life. Anyway, so I was listening to this guy, and he said, life's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And at some point of listening to him, I got it, and it dropped into my bones. Because here's the thing: a lot of the stuff you think you understand is cerebral. It's only when it drops into the bones of your body and you embody it that it becomes your new reality. And there is no time scale for that. It can happen super quick, it can take a little bit longer, and yet it will happen. Trust that it will happen. So it's life is about the journey. And what I know to be true is all my desires are doors. They're doors into my growth and my expansion. Human beings are rolling waves of consciousness. We're here to grow, and we're here to expand. So if I follow a desire, I don't always have to follow my desires, because I know there are many, many more behind it and forward to it and side to side to them. So if I pursue a desire, I know I'm going to be requested to get out my comfort zone. I'm going to be requested to ask more of myself. This is what growth and expansion looks like. And it's not the fact that I get that desire, I materialize it into my reality. It's the fact that the journey of who I became, oh my God, this is so good. The journey of who I became to get that desire, that's what it's all about. Because as I open that door and I make that desire my reality, as I get that desire, I'm now a different woman. I have expanded, I have grown, and I will sit with this desire in my reality, my new reality, for a while. And then there'll be another desire, and off I go again and again and again. And it's the journey, and this is what we're here to do. Life is a journey. It's asking you to embrace it with all its twists and turns. A reminder: just because one thing goes wrong in your life doesn't mean that everything is falling apart. Your job is to always remember, I cannot control outside circumstances. I can only control my response to this. Normally, and I'll hold my hand up. I still do it now. We're messy human beings. We're constantly learning. Sometimes I get pulled into the mess and the stress of life, and I have to remind myself when I get enmeshed, that old codependency signs are there. I have to extract myself and come back into my world. I have to calm and soothe my nervous system and remind myself outside of me is not my control, inside of me is my control. And this is what's going to help you focus on what you want and what you already have instead of what's wrong and what you don't have. Treat yourself like the prize in all the little things you do. Let me give you some examples. I set my coffee cup up for myself in the morning. I set my supplements out for the morning. I set my nighttime supplements out. I lay my makeup out so it's really easy for me to use when I do my makeup in the morning. I make sure my water bottles are filled up. I make sure I've got good food in the fridge. I move my body. I take time to laugh at myself, especially when I'm being a fucking dickhead. That's my favorite one out of all of those. So you treat yourself like the prize in all the little things you do. Your hair, your skin, your clothes, your shoes, your movement, your food, your hydration, your sleep. It all adds up. Your job is to take pride in your appearance. Oh, please take pride in your appearance. It's like this nice little paradox. It goes both ways. You feel good, you look good, you look good, you feel good. It's nice. When I trained as a Pilates instructor, Joseph Pilates said, take pride in your appearance. And I firmly agree. That would be one of my one of my points, my 10-step manifesto. So as I wrap up this sermonesque style podcast, a reminder, you are the prize. You've got to act like it. You've got to talk it into your very existence. And I would love if this is waking you up and you're like, oh, yeah, I really do need to take fucking action and do something about this because I keep sliding off my to-do list. I would like to introduce you to the love affair. The love affair is my 30-day intensive. I ran it a couple of times last year in 2023. It was so spectacular. And so I brought it back out of her retirement and she's ready to rock and roll. We're going to start on the 2nd of May. And it's 30 days focused 100% on you dating yourself. It's about you making yourself a priority. It's about you redefining your sexuality on your terms, your way, because most of the stuff you've learned about your sexuality is through the male gaze. And the way that I look at sexuality is through a female lens. And it's for this podcast, I'm going to talk about it more in April and on further podcasts. I look at your sexuality as your life force. It's what makes a woman, an iconic old woman, glow from within. It gives her her radiance, her her vivaciousness, her confidence. She can hold her body. She's very proud of who she is. And again, you don't look at yourself through that male gaze of sexuality. You're not here to objectify yourself. You're here to treat yourself like a fucking goddess. And that's what the love affair is all about. Doors are open now. Doors are open all month. As I said, we start on the 2nd of May. And it really is about tapping into your energy that powers your confidence, creativity, and your unique blend of charisma. It's about mastering the art of dating yourself, turning yourself on. That's nobody else's job, and filling your own cup up with love and attention so you stop fucking seeking it from outside wonky sources. It's an inside job. It's a job that when you master, it will radically upgrade your life. It will support you living in the style of the prize. Everything you need is in the show notes. And until next week, stay absolutely fucking fabulous.